Well, and we shouldn't sell ourselves short. We didn't just kill the Stag Lord.
Oh my God.
We brutalized this guy. We killed his pet owlbear.
Yep.
We turned one of his lieutenants against it. We took all of his weapons from him.
And he was kind of trying to run away. Like he was outside the fort, running around the side. Oh.
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it, but this was more than a kill. Like, I'm not saying we're the bad guys, but goddamn.
Yeah, Stag Lord was a bad dude. I'm also looking through all of this and realizing that I forgot like something cool that he could have been doing the whole fight. So it's just, you just can't get it all. But
he
at
was
least
drinking.
I got the...
Was it negotiating?
Yeah.
Was there like a boss speech?
A whole speech. Yeah, I read out a whole speech and forgot to do it. No. It's just, well, you guys will see because when you, it'll become obvious, when we start talking about this stuff. Welcome back to the Zero Check podcast, guys. This is an episode that I've been kind of looking forward to for a long time because we're gonna wrap up book 1 tonight. Congratulations on wrapping up book 1. So I'm thrilled. I love finishing a book, you get to start reading up on the next one and seeing what's going to change and everything. And it's cool and stuff. But, I just want to take us back to the fort where we left off. This Stag Lord, unmasked, lying deceased. Well, he's surrounded by Mitchell Lewis Groening, Dry Clancy Colmay, Sirio Xavier Sertova, Kritala, who's just like Brandy, or
Madonna.
What's another? Or Madonna.
Cher. Yeah.
Cher.
Prince.
Valerie, who the book doesn't give her a middle or last name. We'll have to give her some names. And Gorza Bloodstone is made it.
Gorza was the MVP. I'm sorry. He did some serious, and I questioned it right away. And I feel really bad about calling Mike out about the poor play. But now that I realize he was a paladin, it's like, oh, okay, it makes sense. So you go start slugging.
Yeah, he's got no quit.
Yeah, he didn't have a weapon, right? So he was.
But there was an evil character in front of him. It's just driven to just do punishment. So
Bloodstone and Akiros, as you now know, kind of had some history, right? That they. Akiros, this is this third lieutenant who, as Donnie mentioned, you guys turned against the Stag Lord. Akiros is a fallen paladin, which I think Gorza Bloodstone probably knows. And I can't remember if I told you guys that on the air or off the air about Akiros, but he's a fallen paladin. He's got a past. He's got a shitty past. But in any event, you guys are here, and let's get us back into the context of all this. We, the players, know a lot of things that you, the characters, don't know. Namely, you've recently learned from Valerie that Bashk Trand is deceased in the cellar. So I'm just going to kind of put you guys back into that situation, and I'd like you to tell me what happens next.
Well, after the Stag Lord fight, I know Dry was trying to make his way down there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep, I think Mitch is going to go as well.
Okay. What about Sirio?
Yeah, so probably the first thing Sirio does is go up to the Stag Lord, and one of the arrows that Dry shot into him, going to break that off and use that to kind of mark out his name on my list, and then follow the rest of the guys down to the basement cellar.
Very cool. I forgot.
And I guess we could probably trust Gorza. There's Gorza to kind of keep an eye and, hey, Kritala, can you help us? We have to carry a fallen comrade.
So and Valerie, of course, is with you guys too, right? So the 5 of you, Kritala included, head down into this cellar. And the cellar, when Valerie was down here, was flooded. But it's just a dirt floor cellar. And so the water has already kind of begun soaking in to the floor, and now what you're left with is just this kind of mushy mud that really goes up to your ankles as you begin trudging around in this. And it's sad. I know Donnie's here. Hey, Donnie, how you doing, man? But hi. It's sad to sit here and think about Bashk Trand, who's dead, lying face down in this mud. And you see him and you realize that, look, Valerie's telling the truth and that he's truly gone.
Dry's going to walk over and kneel next to him. Without waiting for anybody to help, he's going to try and pick him up and get him out of the mud.
Yeah.
Because that's just disturbing.
Yeah, he's
probably heavy because he's a lizard folk.
Well, I think I read that a medium-sized player character is like supposed to be, is it 6 bulk, I think? Or maybe it's 3 bulk. I can't remember, but I think you can probably.
Well, yeah, Mitch, with his augmented suit, it's going to definitely be able to help. And I think with everyone here, we can kind of, Valerie, probably maybe puts her cigarette down for a second.
She does.
She's smoking one for Bash's memory.
She's got that ash. She's got that ash hanging dangerous.
Like got long ash on the cigarette.
It's like a 3-inch ash.
Yeah. So you guys all remove him from this subterranean chamber, and you bring him back up to the first floor of now this eerily quiet fort.
How do we bury Bash? Do we bury him? Do you guys think a lizard folk would want to be buried?
Well, can we do like a society check to see if we, or is there any kind of check we can do?
Or I mean, you guys have spent at this point months together. I mean, Chris, how much time has gone by on the calendar since the Aldori Manor?
Almost 3 full months.
Yeah, 3 months together.
And I think Kritala's obviously filled out a place here, right? But I think he maybe asks, has your companion been with you long?
So I think we kind of tell Kritala, yeah, it's been a short time, but it's been a very intense time. We've grown very close.
Yep. Probably especially for you, Mitch, since you kind of had a shared experience on that purple first world other plane place.
Yep.
And I think Kritala will say it's odd that the old man was able to kill him. I think Kritala's probably heard the other bandits and things bitching about the old guy and the cellar, and he's mentally out of it, and he just doesn't add up. He's just like, it seems odd.
And did Donnie ever tell the group about the Nugrah fight?
I'm sure Bash must have shared that. But again, it's going to come down to like, okay, from Bash's description, having been inside Nugrah's perception, can you then extrapolate from that was Nugrah? Because, when Bash can have a mirror when he was in Nugrah's mind, right?
Right.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I think that maybe at a later time we'll question the lieutenant that's still alive and maybe get a name, and then that name will come out. I mean, I would assume that he would know that it was Nugrah, like that was the old dude's name.
Bash probably would have told you the name Nugrah. Right. Yeah. And if Akiros knows the Stag Lord's father's name Nugrah, then it will unravel.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
So, and we will get to that. But I think
for right now,
I think you're right. For right now, it's just sort of like, it makes total sense that Kritala would be perplexed. I mean, Nugrah, the Stag Lord's father, was a defenseless, kind of senile yet powerful druid. So you've got Bash's corpse now upstairs on this first floor. Maybe up by this gate over here or something. What do you do?
Now that we've brought up that Bash has brothers, I feel like we should almost preserve the body as best we can and get it back as soon as possible.
Right.
I mean, I know we don't have a gentle repose laying around anywhere.
I imagine you guys need to get the bone armor to his brothers.
Right. Yeah. Yep. At the very least. And then probably his body as well. So if his bones need to get added to that armor, they wouldn't know how to properly do that.
What about he's got a couple magic items that he was wearing. I have it written down here. He had a coyote cloak that was found in the Aldori Manor after the fire, and tracker's goggles. And I don't remember where those came from, but I think he left the manor with those too.
Yeah, I think he did.
And of course, he's got that armor. So, do you guys want to leave the coyote cloak and the tracker's goggles for his brothers, or do you think those could be repurposed for the party?
Did he wear the goggles and the cloak all the time?
Yeah.
Was that kind of like his look? So
he's they were invested in and all that. Yeah.
So he's walking around with green shaded sunglasses all the time.
Absolutely.
Know it.
Looking like Morpheus.
I don't want to take those from him. Like, I think those belong on him. But I can't really use this stuff, so.
Did Bash have a will?
Oh, yeah.
Did he have a letter? In case if you find this, please return to. No, he did not.
I think Bash died intestate, and you'll have to put his estate will have to go to probate, I guess, which will take 6 months, 8 months. The probate judge will not come through for months too. So you gotta publish in the paper, to make sure that all potential heirs are aware of the probate hearing. I mean, this is just going to be a whole mess.
That's a lot of work.
So Coyote Cloak, huh?
Yeah. Or you could just take a shit.
Yeah. Remind me again what those do, because if it's not useful to any of our characters, I mean, it may well just be they go back to his family.
The tracker's goggles, I think those were, got it right here. +1 survival checks to sense direction and track.
I'm looking at Coyote Cloak.
That was plus cooking, wasn't it?
Item to survival checks.
+1 item bonus to survival checks, which would have included cooking. Not that it ever really helped Bash,
Yeah.
It probably has a bunch of grease stains on it.
Are you guys beginning to maybe reminisce about him a little bit? Because I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, remember the bug pasta, that he made?
Shit pasta.
I just remember the Erexi cuisine and how it was like totally foreign to Sirio's palate.
Yeah. I mean, in character, God no, this is like probably 30 minutes after he died. I don't think that level of humor comes that quickly, but yeah, I think as a player, absolutely.
We have a couple weeks to digest it as players.
Yeah.
I hope you don't have some kind of benevolent plan for Nugrah to come back and lead us somewhere, because I'm going to cut his head off.
I'm beginning to get predictable. You guys see Nugrah?
Nugrah, he's melded into the stone, so he's just like watching us. No.
Right, that's actually a good point. Like,
yeah, where did he go?
Yeah. It was a meld into stone effect that happened.
Like, that's not like a teleport. That's just like a...
Yeah, he's just still in the stone.
You guys can roll Arcana if you want to.
I will do that. It's a 17.
Yeah, so Sirio will attempt this with some dubious knowledge.
Nice.
Very dubious.
Ooh, that's a 3 total.
That is very dubious knowledge.
So you used dubious knowledge. You haven't used this before. What is it again? Like,
dubious knowledge. You're a treasure trove of information, but not all of it comes from reputable sources. When you fail a recall knowledge check using any skill, you learn a bit of true knowledge and a bit of erroneous knowledge, but you don't have any way to differentiate which is which. So I don't know. I guess this brings up the thing about you're supposed to be making the checks for us, but we find it more fun to roll as players.
Yeah, you guys like rolling. Yeah, the secret check thing, I like it, but again, we fall back into old habits from older rule systems. So you rolled a 3. So meld into stone is you think he cast a spell that allows him to meld into stone and move around, and that he could be anywhere. He could have popped up outside the fort and run off. So he could be anywhere.
Sounds good to me. Unless Mitch recalled something different.
Oh, Mitch, what did you roll?
17 adjusted.
Yeah, I mean, you're not sure whether they can stay in the stone forever or anything like that. You're not quite sure if he could move around or not.
Yeah, so I think that I'm trying to remember during the fight when he melded into stone. I think we were all down on the main level when that happened, right?
He was standing kind of down on this first floor in the room with the tables and chairs and apple pie.
Yeah, it was
and
like down into the ground, not like
he
wall.
melded down into the ground.
So Mitch, being kind of the engineering mind, is kind of with a stick or maybe some charcoal out of the fireplace or whatever, just kind of marking out on the floor where he went in and just kind of investigating it and kind of taking a hammer and just kind of a rock and knocking on the floor to see if there's any hollow spots and just trying to figure, I don't know.
It looks like it looks like beneath the dirt and the gravel, there's like stone. There's stone. And Mitch, as you're examining the floor and you see this like stone slab that's just supporting this entire fort, you begin to understand why this place was chosen for this fort. It's steady. It's sturdy. There's not going to be this erosion or anything. And then you kind of look to the south a little bit, or you recall standing up on the building, you look to the south, and we didn't really talk about this much, but the lake that this fort is built on the shore of is beautiful. It is just picturesque, and the air smells good and clean. Like, this is a nice place.
So what you're saying is we could make this our fort.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you've got this lake, you've got the rivers that feed into the lake, as far as like trade goes, and as far as like food sources, and just again, this is good land.
Yeah, so really back to the Nugrah thing, like I think he melted into the floor, kind of traveled through the ground and popped out, and he's gone. That's what I think.
That's kind of my thought too.
I don't think he's hanging out in the stone.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and once Bashk's body came up and kind of the core group was kind of around there, obviously mourning. I think Kritala, who's the orc that we
Bloodstone, Gorza
Bloodstone.
Gorza. So yeah, he grabbed Gorza. I think him and Gorza have kind of buddied up, right? However long they've been here. Him and Gorza started kind of collecting bodies, kind of just making themselves useful, right? Moving bodies kind of together of the bandits that were killed. He hasn't touched the Stag Lord, and he's gone up and got Oleg and has got him helping as well.
Oleg's like, you forgot about me.
Oh, didn't forget. We got upstairs and grabbed Oleg.
I almost died up there.
Letting these guys kind of mourn in peace and do what they need to do. But just kind of keeping himself busy. So.
Yeah. You're seeing to like some of these more menial tasks. You're kind of caring for Oleg and Gorza Bloodstone a little bit, and for yourself for that matter. And really, you go and you locate the stash, because your stuff is in there, right? The stuff they stole from you. And you open up this chest, and this is in the Stag Lord's room, by the way. This we haven't talked about this, but the Stag Lord had his own little room with a bed and a big old treasure chest in it, right? You pop this stash open, and in addition to a bunch of other stuff, you see your gi clothing that you wear. This old familiar piece of clothing. What does it look like?
Yeah, so it's pretty plain. It's black. It's got kind of some white stripes along the back, and it's been customized and kind of slit open so his wings can fit through there. But pretty plain. Not flashy. That's not his style. Okay. But yeah, it is. He's worn this a lot.
Is he got does it have a belt on it? Like in what I think of as a karate gi, does it look like that?
Yeah, it's similar. It's similar to that. Yeah, it's not like there may be another belt involved, but no. Yeah, so yeah, it's kind of open chested. You close it and can kind of cinch it around with the belt to keep it closed.
The belt that we discussed is in there too. The belt. This lifting belt, I think, a level. Let me see here.
28.
Level 28.
Level 28 belt.
You are Atlas and hold the world.
This is a 4th level item, lifting belt. This wide leather belt grants a +1 item bonus to athletic checks and increases the amount you can easily carry. And once a day, you can pick up a bunch of weight. Maybe you should have put this belt on before they took Bashk out of the cellar. Maybe you could have.
Yeah.
So guys, I got this.
So he sees this. He grabs. He goes, "Finally, I got my strap back. I got the belt."
The belt. Does he wear it over his shoulder, or does he wear it around his waist?
No, he wears it around his waist. But yeah, this is absolutely a belt. Like he won this, right? This is essentially his championship belt that he's won off, and so yeah, he's carrying the strap around, right? Every once in a while, he holds it up in people's faces and just kind of stares them down. But yeah, that's what this is.
This is fucking great.
I love. Oh my god, Kritala, man,
kisses the belt, stares him down.
That's awesome.
Hear him give a little woo as he puts it around.
Hoop flies in.
So in the chest, in addition to your championship belt and your karate gi, what a nice addition, by the way. I think we've been missing a karate gi and a championship belt. Didn't even know we needed it. You find 21 gold pieces, a polished azurite crystal worth 9 silver, a carnelian worth 8 gold pieces, a piece of hematite worth 3 gold pieces, a shard of obsidian worth 4 gold pieces, a red garnet worth 30 gold pieces, a pewter belt buckle depicting a pair of entwined succubi worth 5 gold pieces, and a silver charm bracelet worth 20 gold pieces.
Chris,
you guys get all that?
belt.
Yeah, I got that.
I think Sirio needs that succubi belt buckle.
Oh yeah.
Is there any detection of magic going on, any of that stuff, or is it all just static?
Well, and then there is a staff in there as well, which looks like it's at the end of this list here. And the staff itself does detect as magical. And again, this is the Stag Lord stash. We have not looted the lieutenants or the Stag Lord yet.
I'll take a look at the staff. The saga continues. That is an 8+. It's an 18 adjusted.
This is a staff of healing, made of smooth white wood. This staff is capped at each end with a golden cross adorned with a multitude of ruby cabochons. I've never seen that word before in my life. Cabocons? Cabochons. You learn something new every day. Huh. A staff of healing grants an item bonus to the hit points you restore anytime you cast the heal spell using your own spell slots or using the charges from the staff. The staff itself provides access to the cantrip Stabilize, and it also has one charge of heal as well in it. And this Staff of Healing provides a +1 item bonus to the heal, the amount healed when you cast a heal spell.
Holy shit.
That sounds pretty useful.
Is that something you can use, Serial?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Heal is definitely on my list.
All right.
Cabocons and all.
Cabochon.
Cabochon, is that what it is? Is that
Cabochon.
Cabochon.
It means it's a polished stone instead of faceted.
Oh, I did not know that. All right, let's just get to it. You guys want to loot the Stag Lord? Let's do this. First and foremost, Sirio, the ventriloquist's ring, is on his hand. That was ordered by Oleg and meant for you. And so you guys reacquire that. The Stag Lord was also carrying a +1 longsword that he dropped during the fight, and Gorza Bloodstone has it now. There is a beautiful composite longbow that the Stag Lord holds still in his hands. Let's get the Arcana check for the rest of the Stag Lord's gear, because we got to talk about the Stag Helm too.
Okay, that's a 26.
Yeah. So this is a fearsome +1 composite longbow. So it's +1 item bonus to attack rolls, and it has the fearsome rune on it as well. When you critically hit with this weapon, the target becomes frightened 1. I'm kicking myself because I forgot about that during the fight.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, and Stag Lord gets a damage bonus to scared
Frightened
enemies.
Stuff,
yeah, so I screwed that up. But what are you going to do? Life goes on.
What's the price on that? Because we're just going to sell that as soon
as just scrap it.
Scrap it.
That's an amazing
rune,
bow. Holy shit.
The fearsome rune itself is a level 5 rune. It's worth 160 gold pieces. I think the +1 rune is worth 35.
Yeah.
So with the composite longbow, we're probably talking about a bow worth about 210 gold pieces.
I'm completely kidding, because that is an amazing bow, and if Dry doesn't use it, then Mitch definitely will use that.
Oh no, I'm jacking that thing. Well, I'm not jacking it. I'm gonna clear it with everybody. Be like, hey guys, can I get this since he shot me in the face with it?
No, that's totally a dry item there.
Yeah.
The Stag Helm. Item level 6.
Oh my.
Price 240 gold pieces. This is worn headwear. This impressive-looking helmet is crafted to resemble the skull of a mighty stag. Although made from bone, the antlers and helm are as strong as iron. While the Stag Lord himself wears this helmet in the Kingmaker Adventure Path, stags' helms are actually the creation of the Church of Aristal. And worshippers of this deity find that the helm is not only particularly comfortable to wear, but that they can activate it once per hour rather than once per day. And this activation is something the Stag Lord opened with. He was not a worshipper of Aristal. Rather than restrict the senses, a stag's helm enhances them, causing the world to appear more vibrant and significantly enhancing the ambient sounds of the region without making them distracting. While worn, This helmet grants a +1 item bonus to perception checks. Whoa. And it has an activation feature as well. You can do it once per day or once per hour if you worship Aristal. The effect of this is that you choose a single creature within 30 feet. The stag's helm focuses your aim and grants supernatural insight into your next shot. Your target becomes flat-footed to the next ranged strike you make this turn against the target.
Damn.
That is the stag's helm.
Well, if Kritala had taken archer stance, he would be asked for that because he is a worshiper of Aristal. So
right, I would. Yeah, I'd be
that'd have been
converting right
badass.
now.
Yeah, I mean, well, one of two things with the stag's helm: obviously dry to go along with the bow, or I don't know if it would have any significance to present to Bax's family.
I don't want it.
Yeah, and just with the way it looks, walking around.
Well, that it represents everything that we were here to kill.
Yeah.
And I don't want it.
Wow. It's a really powerful fucking piece of armor.
You can wear
it. When Kritala sees it, I mean, it's... So, you said Kritala is a worshiper of Aristal?
Yeah.
I mean, it belonged to the Stag Lord. Who knows where he got it, but it is a religious item. Like, it really is a item of Aristal, rather than Stag Lord just was wearing it because he thought it looked dope, I guess.
You know what? I'll take it provisionally for now. And then I'm going to look into this Aristal, because Dry doesn't worship anybody. I don't know if you guys have noticed that or not. He doesn't really have a god.
Well, regardless if you worship him or not, once a day you can get somebody flat-footed for free. Yeah. That's fucking OP. That's pretty amazing.
All right, I'll take it.
Okay. Let's give Dry all the epics so he leaves the guild.
So I can go join another guild.
Welcome to the Zero Check. Here are your epics.
I'll see you guys later.
Fucking
as you're searching his body, you find one final thing.
I'll take it. Roll off. I'll take it.
There's a lock of green hair that's tied with a red twine that's sort of like inside his hide armor. It's like kind of under the breast piece of his hide armor. And you find that too?
You said it's green hair with a red bow?
Yeah, tied with red twine.
I'd like to do a recall knowledge and see if this matches a nymph.
I don't know. You've seen her, right?
Yeah.
And you think of this, it is. It does look like it could be belonging to Nerissa. Her hair's green. It's the same color.
Yeah, that's super curious. Probably something to hold on to. Mm-hmm. I don't know who's going to carry it, though.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Mitch will carry it. Mitch doesn't know what Sirio did out in the woods outside of Oleg's. If he did, he'd say, why don't you go smoke this and see what happens?
Finally, as you're really giving him a good once-over after finding the hair and the twine and stuff, you notice that he's got this necklace that he wears. And the necklace seems comprised of teeth of all sort of varying sizes and things like that. Some big, some small, long, sharp, some are blunted. They all have different shades of white, shades of white and yellow and stuff. They look like they're teeth from all kinds of different creatures.
So the one knowledge skill that I'm actually good at is nature. Siri is going to attempt a recall knowledge to see if any of the ancestries or if they're strictly animal.
Right.
13 plus 8, 21.
No, there's no animals on here, what you would think of as animals.
Are any of them human? Because we know he's kind of a human supremacist, so I have a feeling these are non-human teeth.
There are no teeth of humans on here, but you see teeth from all kinds of different sentient ancestries on here. Many different kinds. Many different.
Yeah, that's super messed up. So essentially like trophies.
Unless he's a dentist.
Maybe he's a dentist. Maybe he's no. He was not. You don't see a dental chair here. There's no evidence of that.
No Novocaine, no.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, so if we had to guess, like, how many, is it clear, like, how many individual teeth, like, are these...
Say between 40 and 60 victims, depending on it, as you're beginning to look through this.
It's like a sack of teeth.
Well, I guess, this is where I begin to run into trouble because I'm picturing a long necklace with a lot of teeth on it.
Oh, going all there.
Like this thing is this thing is big. He's looped it over itself. I mean, he adds to it, right?
Instead of beads, it's teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
You know those candy necklaces you used to get as a kid, right?
Yeah. Or like the shell necklaces from the 90s, you know?
You just ruined those for me, Donnie.
Look, there's a Ruxy teeth on here. I mean, you see it. I mean, it's pretty obvious.
I mean, would it make sense? Like, I'm guessing Serial points this out to us. Like, would it make sense to separate the Aruxy teeth out and then put them with Donnie's body? Like, do we draw that conclusion from what Donnie told us about his parents? You know, thinking, Jesus,
yeah, you know that Bashk's parents were killed by the Stag Lord, so it's possible that these are the teeth from Bashk's parents. And I think even Donnie, correct me if I'm wrong, but you've talked about the fact that he kind of, when you found the corpses of the parents, they were,
that's right, didn't have teeth.
They were mutilated. They were skinned. Their teeth were removed. Yeah, like this was like a trophy hunter had come through and basically treated like they killed a wild animal.
Yeah, so we'll definitely take the necklace with us, and I don't know how good my nature is if I could separate out all the different teeth of the ancestries, but that's something we can probably take on later when we find an expert.
Yeah, you would think that respectfully you could disassemble this awful trophy case, basically, and maybe put these bones separately to rest, you know, whoever they might have belonged to. But yeah, this is an awful thing that he's got. As far as these other lieutenants go, Dovin, the tatted up roguish guy, was carrying a +1 cold iron dagger. Oh. And Akiros has this magical cloak on him. And Ox, the corpse of Ox, has, you find in his toy satchel upstairs, an eyepiece that appears to be emanating magic. The cloak is a cloak of repute. This gaudy and extravagant cloak is adorned with brilliant gems and a fur trim. While wearing the cloak, you gain instant fame and notoriety, granting you a +1 item bonus to diplomacy checks to make an impression.
That would be, honestly, pretty... I think Sirio would benefit from that for the diplomacy.
Oh, God, yeah.
But that'd be a pretty fun... thinking like Ric Flair robe,
when you walk into the ring?
Exactly.
Just kind of wear that and the belt.
Yep.
Yeah, hold up the belt.
I just get Kritala sequined in the back, right? Find someplace that can do that.
This has an activation with 2 actions once per day. You wield your great stature to make a request of a creature. If you roll a success on the check, you get upgraded to a crit instead. So
wow, that's pretty awesome.
Ask people.
It's a free 0 check.
Yeah, it's free 0 check on diplomacy.
Speaking
of which, the cloak of repute, and Ox had a crafter's eyepiece.
Oh, hell yes.
This rugged metal eyepiece etched with square patterns is designed to be worn over a single eye. Twisting the lens reveals a faint 3-dimensional outline of an item you plan to build or repair. With helpful labels on the component parts, you gain a +1 item bonus to crafting checks. When you repair an item, increase the hit points restored to 10 + 10 per proficiency rank on a success, or 15 + 15 per proficiency rank on a critical success. So, this thing's nice.
Hell yeah. Mitch
That's cool. So it's got like a schematic or a blueprint HUD for whatever you're working on?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Boy, I didn't think it'd take so damn long to loot the damn fucking Stag Lord's place, but I guess you did kind of give Bashk some respectful burial too. I have other news for you, as I'm sure you might have guessed, given that I asked you to make sure you were ready to do this, but the party, Kritala included, all ascends at this point to level 4. Yay! Oh my goodness!
Gotta be honest, Mike. The texts that you send that say, "Hey, make sure you've got a level 4 character," are much better received than, "Hey, make sure you've got a backup character." So I just know if you want to balance those things out a little bit.
Yes. Well, I just want you to be ready for anything.
That's fair.
Yeah, level 4. Some of these hit points and spells will all kick in after you rest tonight, but you guys want to go through it real quick and we gotta make this quick though. We've been kind of milling around in the Stag Lord's fort for a while now. Chris, what's going on with Sirio at 4?
So sorcerers are pretty simple at level 4. Get a class feat, picked up dangerous sorcery. So anytime I use a spell slot to cast a spell that does damage, that's instant damage, I add 1 damage per spell level. Nice. Also took the skill feat Quick Disguise. So because I'm an expert in deception, it only takes me a minute to build a good disguise. And as I level up deception, the time decreases.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
That's and really then cool. Got a new spell. Yeah, picked up a level 2 spell, Animal Form. So kind of observing some of that druid action from Nugrah, and then really the druid that mauled what's his face, that cleric, the bear with the top hat,
Tristan.
Tristan, yeah.
Oh, so the top hat bear. Yeah,
the top hat bear. Kind of learned a bit from that, and I can take on animal form now.
Holy shit!
Very cool.
Bill, what's up with Dry? What did I say his last name was?
I don't know. You said his middle name was something. Name. I have no idea.
What did I say? Everett? Dry Everett Colmay?
No, that was Mitch was Lewis, yeah. Clancy.
Dry Clancy Colmay.
I don't know how. He doesn't look like a Clancy, so I don't know how it's going to go over. I took my skill feat as Catfall. And treat falls as 10 feet or shorter. And if you're an expert in acrobatics, treat them as 25 feet or shorter.
Nice.
So I probably won't fall and hurt myself anytime soon.
Look, I still remember the intro to Cliffhanger where the girlfriend who should never have been up on that mountain, right? She falls down.
Yeah.
She should have had catfall. Should have had catfall.
And then gravity weapon.
Gravity weapon? What is that?
You gain the gravity weapon warden spell and a focus point pool of 1. You build up gravitational force and funnel it into your blows, lending to more powerful attacks with blade and bow alike. Your first weapon strike each round, you gain the status bonus to damage equal to twice the number of weapon damage dice.
So you cast the focus spell, and then the first attack after that is like damage buff.
Yes. Oh, I see. Wow. Oh, and it's per damage dice. So like if you've got a striking rune on there, that's now 2 damage dice.
Yeah.
If you crit with 1 damage dice, you then roll 2 damage dice, right? Mm-hmm. So then that's a +2 bonus, right? So it's kind of like, and I think maybe that deadly trait, if you crit, that's a damage dice too, that deadly 10. Dice. So that might be a +3 bonus on a crit to damage. So that's cool. I like that.
Dry needs to do more damage, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't, yeah.
Maybe Dry can finally one-shot some enemies. So that'll be cool.
Yeah, it'd be nice if you could actually do something.
Right.
Kill somebody.
It'd be nice if Dry would pull his weight.
every 4 episodes, I'm deadly as shit.
Every 4.
Yeah. See, the trick is to get that timing to line up the right way. Right. Let's learn about Mitchell Groning.
So Mitch is going a little deeper into the crafting. At level 4, he's picking up magical crafting. We've got quite a few items with +1 runes that are kind of garbage items that I'll be able to kind of graft those off and move them to specific stuff. So,
well, like your own sword that you
absolutely,
like,
yeah,
family heirloom. Yeah.
Yep. Pretty excited about that. Although you'll have to figure out some downtime, or hopefully you can work that into the traveling.
Well, and I think transferring a rune only takes a day versus 4. I think it's 1 day to put it on a runestone, and then another day to take it off the runestone on the next item.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And there's the cost of the runestone and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
I will
you guys
track
are broke,
that.
so
yeah, right.
Yeah,
I don't think so. And for my class feat, I took something called Megaton Strike.
The fuck is going on at level 4 with you guys?
Yeah, this is kind of
strike.
This is amazing. Like I had to read this over and over just to believe it was true, which is fun. It basically and I'll go through the flavor of how it actually works for Mitch, but you activate gears, explosives, and other hidden mechanisms in your innovation to make a powerful attack. You make a strike, dealing an extra die of weapons damage.
So instead of doing a D8, you'll do a 2D8.
2D8.
Okay.
With the also exception that there's an unstable function. So if you want to add the unstable, which is kind of the same thing that my explode has, that my armor will shut down if it's a fail on the crafting check.
Right, you got to make that unstable check after you use the unstable variant.
So you can add an extra dice of damage. So you can do a 3D8 if you want to take the chance to go unstable on it.
A big old hit.
Yes.
Nice. Okay. All right, man.
But that still requires me to roll something higher than a 4 with a d20. So
That's where the rubber meets the road with
Right.
Mitch.
I think that's the balance.
Getting that high roll. Yeah.
And it kind of inactivates your innovation for 10 minutes. It doesn't break it or destroy it.
right. If it on
you
a
fail
failure,
that.
yeah, it just shuts it down.
And this is an armor innovation versus a weapon innovation.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh,
And-
so okay. Wow.
yeah.
Very cool. I like it. It's cool. Well, I don't know. I guess that's everyone except for our monk, Kritala, who we just barely have gotten to know. All I know really about Kritala is that he is the kind of a tiger stance. Are you a strength or a dex-based monk?
Strength.
Strength-based.
Yep.
But you're with okay, so strength-based monk with tiger stance. What did you do at 4th level?
Yeah, so at 4th level for my skill feat, I took Intimidating Glare. So essentially when I cut promos on dudes, right? Get them shaking in their boots. And then for my class feat, I took Flurry of Maneuvers. So
Flurry of Maneuvers.
yes, so when I do Flurry of Blows, I don't have to do 2 strikes. I can replace one or both of my attacks during Flurry of Blows with a grapple, shove, or trip. Or strength.
Nice.
So,
That's awesome.
and that's still one action, and then so doing 2 strikes, I could do a trip and then a grapple, or a trip and a strike, right? Whatever combination I feel like doing. So
the flurry, do you get the map in those two actions, or
yeah,
it just applies to the next? Okay.
the map applies as normal. So I would go to second map on the second action, just like if I'd done 2 actions.
And I think that kind of the idea behind this is that, like, you've got to make that decision. Like, do you want to strike and then combat maneuver, or do you want to combat maneuver and strike? And I think that the math kind of works out where it's like, if you lead with the combat maneuver, well, that combat maneuver has rendered the target flat-footed, which means that that nullifies some of the multiple attack penalty because their AC goes down. And then the rest of the party gets the benefit of that guy being either grabbed. And so I don't know. I think that's shit. That's going to suck for me. So
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to just tie dudes up into pretzels. And the nice thing, we didn't really get to talk about it, but with Tiger Stance, as long as I have 20 feet of movement, I can stride in between attacks. So theoretically, if they're 10 feet apart, I can trip one guy, stride 10 feet, trip the other as part of my flurry of blows. So yeah, I will be all over the battlefield. I'm super psyched and excited for it.
I'm going to miss Bash. Really, fucking Kritala all over the board. I'm like, shit. Okay. Well, congratulations on level 4, guys. I feel like your HP pools are really starting to fill out now a little bit. And I'll take the NPCs up to 3rd to kind of stay in line with the level behind you guys and everything. And I'll get that worked out. And I'll maybe get some of your guys' input on that too, since you're kind of getting to know them now. Night is beginning to fall as you're really putting the pieces together here at the Stag Lord's fort, or really just this fort now, and we're kind of in the waning moments of book 1 right now. And I was thinking a little bit today about how we should close out book 1. And I thought,
wait, can I interrupt real quick? Where's Dundee?
Oh,
Yeah.
where is Dundee indeed? Maybe you guys have already thought about this. Maybe you haven't, but there is not a sign of Dundee at all.
Like he's just missing.
He's gone.
Because, I know he was kind of up at the entrance down into the cellar, but he's not. He's not there anymore.
He's not. After the Stag Lord was killed, and you guys headed over to the cellar to retrieve Bashk's corpse, Dundee was nowhere to be found.
Kritala walks back in. He's like, there was some crocodile, and I killed it. It's good. Don't worry, that crocodile's not going to get anybody.
Did it strict delicacy?
Roll for initiative.
Strix love to eat crocodiles.
Well, Dry chalks it up too. Is in Dry's mind, he thinks that if he ever fell, then Hoot would just fly away. Like Hoot wouldn't hang around to see what everybody else was doing. He would just leave.
It's interesting because before, when Bash kind of left the scene somehow Dundee knew that he was still alive, basically, and kind of hung out with us, but now he's gone.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Kind of makes it the finality of that's like, oh man, yeah, he's not
maybe
here.
that does. Maybe that
Can
does.
we get all
kind
these
of
marks off our tokens?
Next time.
I think Kritala is actually missing a mark.
Oh yeah, Kritala is missing a 0 check.
Yep.
Oh, thank you. God, we'll get to that. A lot of this stuff. I
like the idea of Dundee's just missing, and we assume it's finality that Bashka's dead, he's gone, and maybe we discover something different later.
Love it.
Yeah.
Book 1,
Yeah,
Kingmaker.
It's awesome.
It's done.
It's been a trip.
Congratulations,
This
guys.
is
I
fantastic.
love finishing. And we've done this a few different times. I love finishing a book with you guys. Congrats. And we'll just pick it up, I guess, next week. Hey, we should probably get those kingdom rules figured out before us.
What? Can't we just hire somebody for that?
Yeah.
You guys want to contract that out?
Subcontract it out. We've outsourced the kingdom management to a holding company. It's cool. It's all gonna be all right.
You capture, we manage LLC.
It's valid.